Well, hi, and welcome to another show. This one is from the island of Fiji, somewhere in the Pacific. If you want to check on that, it's a pretty cool place. Actually, it's a very hot place today, but I come over here for a couple of weeks because it's winter back in New Zealand, where I live permanently. So we wanted a couple of weeks, have a bit of break from that, break up the winter and get a bit of sunshine. I made this video because something came up this morning when I was looking at this recently case where this Epstein guy, I think that's how you pronounce it, hanged himself or committed suicide in prison. Now you might wonder what that's got to do with trading. Well, in effect, nothing exactly that case. But what is interesting is how we are led to say believe certain things. Now again, I'm not talking about that. I don't know what happened with him and that sort of stuff. I'm not speculating on that. But what I am interested in talking about is how we are led to believe certain things. So in other words, and how those beliefs can become fixed in us very quickly. So for example, if we believe that he was killed by whoever, or we believe he actually committed suicide, these are two opposing beliefs, and these can cause a lot of problems. Now, where are these beliefs coming from? And we could argue that they're coming from within us. That would be an ideal situation. But of course, what's really happening is we're getting reports that are coming from this. Reports, some people are saying that he killed himself, other people are saying that he was killed, and there's the raids on his homes and all this sort of stuff. So the media is presenting to us this cacophony, I think that's how you say the word, this mixture, this brew, if you like, of information that we're taking in, and from that we are forming a belief, and then we will start to develop that belief, and then lock onto it, and then we'll start to develop, build out on it and embellish it, let's say. And then what happens is, of course, we meet somebody and we talk about that, and they might have an opposing belief, and then we'll relay ours, and so on. This whole thing goes on, this juggling act, if you like. The problem with this is we need to understand where our original beliefs come from, and we're very bad at going back and thinking and analysing that. Hang on a minute, if I hadn't seen this particular report, then would I have thought this particular way? Clearly not. So it's really what we're fed, the information we're fed in plays a great part on how our beliefs form and what we think about that. So let's get back to trading for a moment, because that's where this video is really about. If you think about it, when you're looking at a chart, say you're reading the news about the financial markets, you're looking at a chart about the financial markets, you, like it or not, you are drawing in information. Information's coming into you and you're forming a belief about that. Now, just the same way as the media can manipulate us, so can the markets. When you think about the chart that you're looking at is really just another form of news, isn't it? It's information presented to us in a certain way. And whether that chart moves up or it moves down or it moves sideways, it will present to us a situation, or let's say an image, that we will create a belief from. And that is what I want to talk to, but that's what really this video is about, is creating that belief. Now, when you look at most charts, like a candle chart, that sort of thing, you're seeing these similar patterns all the time. You see this exact same shape all the time. You're looking at the high, the low, the open, the close, and all this, and you're forming this pattern. Now, of course, we know that the majority of traders, 95% of traders, are using candle patterns to trade the market. We also know that 95% of traders lose money over time. Now, very rarely do I make a video actually promoting Pat software. I don't know why. It's something I should do, but I sort of feel like people need to almost discover it on their own. But in this particular case, I feel it's important that I make a couple of points about Pat software in terms of what the information that you're given. You see, Pat software really only pays attention to the beliefs of the market. So when we look at our vertical bar and our horizontal bar, like this, our horizontal bar, that's our belief bar. Pat really is only really interested in what's going on in the belief bar. It doesn't care about the high, it doesn't care about the low, it doesn't care about anything like that at all. It focuses very much on a concentrated area of belief. So when we look at and how we trade that is then by mapping those beliefs to certain conditions. So what's really important to understand here is that we, as looking at Pat traders, are getting a very much distilled version of the narrative that's being sent to us by the market. And that's what I'm talking about here, is the narrative that's sent to us. So we're sent a narrative in charts that we interpret and we form an opinion upon. We know that 95% of traders will lose money. Therefore, what's happening is the information that's coming is giving them a false, it is a false narrative, and it's making them arrive at a false conclusion. thereby misleading you. Now, I don't think we can argue against that. It's a fact. If you're losing money, that's what you're doing, and 95% of traders do. Therefore, that is the case. So when we're looking at Pat software, what we're saying is we're not looking at that barrage of information coming. We're looking at a small part of it, but the most important part of it. We're looking at the belief structures. Where are the predominant beliefs in that market? Then what we're doing is we're saying, okay, well, how can these beliefs be manipulated? Because we're still going to be looking at the manipulation. Very important. We're still going to be looking at that. And then once you start to look at the beliefs and you say, okay, well, you can see how beliefs are changing, that's when you can accurately predict the direction of the market. But just one thing I want to finish up on here. If you're never a Pat trader, and that's okay, that is absolutely okay. If because you can succeed with any market chart. Pat is a tool to make the job easier, but you can succeed with any market charts. The important thing to realize is that when you're looking at a market, if you feel that you absolutely know exactly what the market is going to do, be very careful, because at that moment a belief has been born in you, but you need to understand where that belief has come from. If it's something that you've built up to over time more and more strongly, go back and question why. And generally speaking, if you ask the question of why about 4 or 5 times, it will strip away layers of how you came to that original decision. So why do I think that? Why do I believe this bar means this? Why do I believe that this moving average means this? Why do I believe this trend line means this? And suddenly, by asking those questions and working your way back through, you can also we'll get back to this thing. Hang on a minute, I don't actually know this at all. Let's come forward again and analyze that again. Anyway, that's my quick tip for today. Sorry, it went on a little bit long. I'm going to get back to the pool and chilling out a little bit, and I'll catch up with you very soon when I get back in New Zealand. Take care. Have a great day.